Hello, hi everyone. Thanks for joining me on Ask Miko Anything. It is the last one for this week before I'll see you again on Monday. Let's just take some deep breaths in. Breathe in, hold, release. Just take some time to connect with the silence right here, right now. Like, you deserve to give yourself these 15 seconds, 30 seconds to just completely unplug from the noise and connect with silence. And silence is where the divine lies. Like, we can get so caught up in the doing every single day, in the hustling and the grinding, that we don't even remember how to breathe. And like, I'm being so mindful of this lately, these past week or so. And like, you would actually start to even feel the tension. Like, I would feel like I'm just so tensed up all day. But if you like take a deep breath and actually release all of those tensions in your body, in your shoulders, in your facial muscles, immediately you feel a sense of peace just kind of washes over you. So just take a couple of deep breaths. And guys, I had coffee this morning and I realized why it's a good idea that I haven't been drinking coffee for a while, because like the caffeine was really just like making me feel so jittery, and I don't like it. I don't like that feeling. So I'm drinking my water now, being hydrated. And today is such an amazing day, but it's hot. Like, it's hot. I think it's like 100 degrees. But I catch myself wanting to like complain. But before I complain, I just really wanted to ground myself back to the moment and truly like surrender into the heat, surrender into this experience. Like, instead of complaining about how hot it is, why don't we just embrace the fact that we have these amazing, every cell in our body has like amazing billions and billions of receptors that connects to our neural system that allows us to sense and feel things. And just really like being in that place of gratitude completely changes the game. Anyways, that's not what I want to talk about today. So I want you guys to really think about this. Right at this moment, right here and right now, what's really stopping you from your ultimate greatness? But to answer that question, let's talk about greatness. What does greatness even means? So today I interview Asim Alilowski, who is all the way from in south of France, and we talked about activating your greatness for my 26 Days to Greatness challenge. And basically, greatness is something that's within each and every single one of us. It's this divine light, this essence of who you are, but it's only over time as we grow up that we have completely lost touch with that greatness, because it's being covered by layers and layers of identities, beliefs, conditionings, programmings that have been covered up this brilliant divine light and divine essence that's in you. So what activating your greatness just means that you are coming back home to that. You are letting go all parts of who you are that's not you, so that you can let the brilliance, the greatness within you to completely shine through without any blockages in the way. So like, this is such a good question to ask yourself. Like, what's really stopping me right now? Right? If you don't ask yourself that, that answer will never show itself to you. It could be lack of self-confidence. It could be lack of belief. It could be fears. It could be anything, right? Let's talk about your greatness first. Greatness comes back down to if you can have anything on this planet, and we do this as a little kid all the time. If we can have anything, and we can, what would you want in your life? What is the best possible version of you listening right now that you want to be? Like, how will your body looks like? What is your ideal physical body? Is it gonna be, you're gonna have a 6-pack, you're gonna have nice guns, right? Or are you gonna, what is your best ideal? How are you gonna show up? How are you going to operate? What would you be saying on a daily basis? How would you treat other people? How would you show up in your relationship? What is the best ideal versions of you if you can have anything you want? Have you thought about that? We stop dreaming as we grow older because others have placed their limitations upon us. Others who couldn't make their dreams happen decided that because it was not possible for me, it's gonna be impossible for you too. And those are the limiting beliefs that we picked up growing up. You know, inside of one of my interviews, I interview 3 experts today, and one of them basically share like how 95% of our reality is shaped by our subconscious programming. And 95% of our behaviors and our decisions are made unconsciously based on the programmings that were built into you since the last trimester when you were even in your mother's womb up until age 7. Think about that. When you were still in your mom's womb up until the age 7, 95% of your programmings were already built and solid into place. And that dictates the rest of your life unless you make a conscious decision to change that. So the relationship that shows up, the financial situations that you are currently in right now, a lot of that are even not your own making. You are repeating generations and generations of limitations that were built into you. Unless you're conscious and decide to break out of that cycle. Really think about that. You have a family who grew up in poverty, who relies on the government, the welfare paychecks for their food, for their survival. And then most likely, the child that grows up in that environment tend to repeat the same cycle. Maybe things might improve just a little bit. Maybe they don't need to depend on government paychecks anymore. But it's only a minimum improvement. But what you are here to do is to create exponential quantum leaps. You are here to pretty much break out of those cycles. Like, you are not here to repeat your parents and your grandparents' limiting ways of living. Like, our entire universe is continually to evolve and transcend. You gotta stay updated. Like, imagine your phone, right? If you have an iPhone, if you have like a Windows, like your iPad, your computer systems, it's constantly being updated. The systems are being updated, or it's not gonna function. So why would you update your phone but you won't update your life in the way that you operate? Why won't you update your own personal operating system? So think about that. What's really holding you back? And if we're not conscious, again, we're just running on programmings, and that's why you are going to need tools and people and mentors and coaches who can see your blind spots, who can look from outside of you and see what's really holding you back right now. Time to break out the limiting generational shackles. Yeah, Daryl, absolutely. That's why you need someone outside of you to support you in this journey. Like, you cannot, the same level of thinking that got you in the situation that you're at right now, the same struggles, will not be the same level of thinking that will get you out of those challenges. So mentors can look like investing in reading books. It could be hopping on free resources like what I'm putting together in this 26 Days to Greatness challenge, where these experts are literally coming on to give you free nuggets, free skill sets that will break you out of these generational chains, right? So there could be all types of mentors that could show up in your life if you don't have money to invest right now, and that's totally fine. Like, there are free resources that is available to you at this time. So I want to talk about a couple of things that really showed up today for my interviews that I would love to share with you guys. Such an amazing time, just learning a ton. So I interviewed Melissa Jackson. So Melissa, at the age of, I think it was like at the age in her 20s, she got a neurological conditions where literally she had to go through 12 brain surgeries consecutively. And she couldn't like sit upright for more than 3 hours without passing out. She said that literally every time like her heart beat, like it would make her brain inside the skull like just kind of do all kinds of weird stuff. So she was in a lot of pain. Imagine at that age, 20 something years old, but she was able to overcome that adversity and still build her business at the same time. So why I'm sharing this with you guys is that if you catch yourself complaining about the smallest things, it could be the weather. Oh my gosh, it's so hot. Right? I was guilty of this. I almost catch myself wanting to be a victim of the terrible condition of the weather, right? If you're complaining about the smallest things right now, think of the other people who have overcame more adversity than you, and they overcame it and they built an empire. They built a massive movement that changed humanity. Just shift your perspective. Okay, so what she did was super amazing. How she got out of that, being in that victim mode where she feels like she's a victim of her condition, she started implementing and building a habit a week, a new habit a week, and she compounded that week after week for 2 years. She literally implemented and learned a new habit every single week. Can you imagine how much your life would change if you implemented a new habit every single week for the next 2 years? And adversity shines a bright light on all your bad habits right now. Right now, we're going through a crisis. We're going through an adversity, and it is literally servicing all of your bad habits. Where is it not serving you in the way that you show up in your relationship? Where is it not serving you in the way that you take care of your physical bodies? What are your bad habits right now? If you're constantly burying your minds in iPad, Netflix, Facebook, you will not have the opportunities to look at your bad habits. So first, you got to know where you're at in order to go where you want to be. So we talked about how she was able to implement a new habit a week for literally 2 years. If you want to learn how, just listen to my full interview with Melissa inside my 26 Days to Greatness series. And then I finish up today with an interview with Kristian Strang. Kristian is such a beautiful, amazing individual. We talked about how to live connected to our heart. Our heart is a direct portal to your spirit, to the divine, to the higher self. And when you're living in connection to your heart consistently instead of living in your head all day, you are going to lead a spirit-led and love-filled life. And that's powerful. You know, it was so funny. We were just like having such an amazing conversation, and the frequency and the vibration was just so high, we actually cut the power. Like her power in her house went off in the middle of the interview. That's because like collectively our energy were just so like, you know, synchronizing and was creating such a high frequency. Okay, anyways, you guys want to check out the full interview. So we talked about a couple steps on how you can live this like a life really connected to your heart. I don't want to spoil the entire interview for you guys, but I want to kind of give you a sneak peek, spoiler. So number one, she said that you have to meditate every single day. So before you tell me like, no, Miko, I don't want to meditate because I cannot sit still and be in the silence. Before you do that, keep listening. What meditation just means that you are unplugging from all of the noise that's happening right now. Noble, more wave talk. Yes, this girl is making a shift in humanity right now. So what meditation just means that you are unplugging from all of the noise that's coming into your mind, like all of the trash that's going into you every single day. The mainstream media that's telling you you're not good enough unless you buy this makeup. The music videos that's telling you you're not worthy unless you look just like this celebrity. All of those trash that you are feeding your mind every single day, you gotta unplug from that. And meditation is the only way that you can connect with what's in here, the truth of you. The truth of you can only be shown when you empty all the trash. And meditation is all about emptying the trash. We take out the trash every day. Why don't we take out the trash in us every day as well? Okay, so meditate every single day. You want to declutter the mental trash so that you can open your heart. Your heart is a direct portal to your spirit. And then number 2, you want to make sure that your emotional resilience and your emotional well-being is a top priority. Society has conditioned us to shun our emotions, to shun those who are emotional. Like, how many times have you catch someone shaming someone for having a emotional breakdown? I know I have been, like, I know I've had people in my life who shame me for crying, for being emotional, but that's bullshit, right? Don't let people shame you for being emotional, because your emotions are your gateway to your spirit. So you want to make sure that your emotional intelligence, your emotional resiliency is a top priority. Okay? And then number 3, you want to set a prayer, set an intention to live your highest destiny. Everything that I'm sharing right now, guys, is from Kristian that I interviewed for my 26 Days to Greatness series. These are her content. I'm just giving you guys a sneak peek. And how you do that, you're basically magnetizing everything that's in alignment to your highest destiny. Instead of going out there and chasing and making things work for you, that is a very lackful state. When you're forcing to make something happen, you are declaring to the universe that where you're at right now is lacking something. You want to be in a place where you're complete and whole, and you want to magnetize. That's a divine feminine essence. The divine feminine energy is about magnetizing things to come your way. It's about learning how to receive. And then number 4, you want to take daily action. So that's the sacred masculine energy. That is the harmony of the two. The feminine essence is about magnetizing and receiving. The masculine energy is about initiating and taking action. So we talked about that. And then number 5, we talked about having both a business mentor and a spiritual mentor. A business mentor will give you the strategies, will give you the structure. It's like the masculine side of things, right? You need to have a business mentor to support you with the structure of your business, how you're going to initiate, how you're going to put into the action, the game plan, so that your vision and your mission is moving forward. You need that business mentor. But at the same time, you need that spiritual mentor, the non-physical, the intangible piece, the feminine flow. How you're going to learn how to receive and magnetize. You need the spiritual mentor as well. And that's like a harmony of the two, divine masculine, divine feminine. And then number 6, you want to surround yourself with positive, thoughtful communities. Think of planting a seed into the environment, into the soil. The soil is the environment who you're surrounding yourself with right now. If you're putting a seed in an environment that's not conducive for it to grow and blossom, you are, hi Shook, my sister, you are not going to let the plant to blossom. So your environment, who you surround yourself with, is so critical. Think of that, okay? So those are the 6 steps that Kristian shared. She dives super deep into this inside of our interview, so you want to listen to the full thing, okay? And then finally, we also talked about a couple more P's about like the missing link. The missing link for so many of us is the inner work. And I'll dive deeper with you about what that means. So you can have the most amazing business strategy. You can have the most amazing network marketing opportunity in your hands right now. And I experienced this, guys. I experienced this firsthand. I was in a network marketing company that has so much potential for massive wealth for 2 years. And I was tapping into the financial market, Forex, that had the potential for me to generate millions, but I wasn't making it happen. Why? Because the inner work, the foundation wasn't there. The spiritual side wasn't there. So what the kind of inner work that Christians that we gotta do, and I resonate with this because that's what started to change everything for me, is you have to do every single week, you have to do inner child work. Inner child work. What do I mean by that? All of us, there is a little you in you right now, little Daryl, little Miko, little whoever. Your inner child, it's in you. That's been through trauma, that's been through moments growing up where we feel like we were unloved, unworthy. We got punished when we wanted to play. We got punished when we wanted to be creative. at that age, when we were little, we had no idea why we got punished, why our parents decided to yell at us when we just wanted to play. For example, I have a distinct memory of this. When I was really young, back in Hong Kong, I remember getting a cactus plant, like those little cactus plant, and I was so fascinated by it. I was so fascinated by the pokey, the cactus. And I was just like looking at it, admiring it. I was like trying to touch it. And my mom got so mad at me for no reason. And I know her intention was like she wanted to protect me from getting poked, obviously, just out of my mother nature. And she got so mad. She slammed my cactus plant off the table and it fell to the ground. And I was banned from going out with my dad, my sisters, where they went out to go eat. Can you imagine that kind of pain that a little child had to go through at that age without understanding what would happen? And those traumas in your heart right now, that little you is still hurting. And when that trauma didn't get healed, we start to make up stories. We start to make up all these narratives that are just not true. If I do this, I'm gonna get punished. If I don't do this, I'm gonna feel unloved. And that shows up everywhere. That shows up in your relationships. That shows up in your business. That shows up in your physical body. Like your relationship with yourself is everything. So that little you is hurting. It needs to be seen. It needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be loved. It needs to be honored. But you gotta first give the space and the opportunity for that little you to show itself. Like so many times when that shows up throughout the day, we would just be like, you would try to like ignore it. You would try to be like, oh my gosh, like I'm feeling that feeling again. I'm feeling that rejections. I'm feeling that that sense of unworthiness, but you just reject that, you repress that, and that is never going to go away unless you give it space, you hold space for that to heal. So every single week you got to do inner child work, and Kristian said that you're reparenting yourself. You're reparenting yourself. You are being that loving, unconditional, compassionate, loving parent that you didn't have. Are you guys hearing me? Let me know what's landing in the comments below. I'm gonna get some water. Or I'm gonna get dehydrated. I hope this is really like landing for you guys right now. So when you don't do this inner child work and you go out and you try to build a business and you're carrying with you all these pain every single day, you are gonna get triggered. You're gonna take things personally. You are going to... I don't get what you mean, Novo. You're gonna get triggered throughout the day. When someone decides to not work with you, immediately you're gonna go into the story where you say, oh my gosh, I'm not being loved. What did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? Right? That takes a lot of energy away from you. And that's why people feel fatigue. That's why people feel a lack of motivation. That's why people procrastinate, because something in us is hurting, that's not being honored. And then you go and try to follow all the shiny objects, all the strategies, all the business gurus that are telling you this work for me, this create a 7-figure business for me. What worked for them is not going to work for you unless you do this inner work. Okay, I think I've spoiled enough for you guys. That was a really good interview. I definitely encourage you guys to go watch the whole thing, because there's a ton of nuggets in there. You want to go sign up at 26daystogreatness.com right now at this moment. I don't care if you hop off my live, go sign up, because we are launching on June 1st. 26 experts plus 10 bonus speakers giving you 36 tools to put in your toolbox. I'm always talking about frequencies and wearing pink. Yeah, my 3 things that I focus on are unconditional love, femininity, and spirituality. Spirituality is the waves, the frequencies, and non-physical. Femininity, I'm embracing my feminine essence. Like pink has always been my favorite color ever since I was young. I never know why. I think like one of my little cousin would call me like the pink cousin. So yeah, I'm just embracing my divine feminine essence. So yeah, let me know what's landing for you guys. I hope you guys have all signed up by now if you're listening, because oh gosh, I'm getting cramps on my legs. So let me know what else landed for you. I want to kind of interact with you guys a little bit before I hopped off. Powerful stuff, guys. And this actually showed up earlier for me. This little child that got triggered. You gotta have awareness to be so aware when that shows up. If you're not aware, it's just gonna be something that you dismiss throughout the day. You're gonna distract yourself with Facebook. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling this uncomfortable feeling right now. I don't want to face it, so I'm gonna go on Facebook. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling rejected. I'm gonna distract myself and go eat. Oh my gosh, I feel terrible. I'm gonna go gossip with my friends. That's what we do, guys. And then we think that external things like getting an amazing job at an amazing company or getting into this amazing relationship is somehow going to heal those trauma. Somehow it's gonna make you feel good. And then all our life, we're chasing the wrong things. We're seeking love in the wrong places. You are the only one who can heal those wounds. And you do that by meditating, going back in a full circle. You do that by connecting to the divine. Does Tinder count? Tinder? You mean Tinder? Yeah, Tinder. Let's talk about Tinder. That's how I used to distract myself from my pain 3 years ago. I was always seeking love from my Tinder matches, from guys, and then until the point where I hit depression. And guys, let's talk about this next week. I want to talk about this next week. I want to talk about how sacred sexual energy is, intimacy with another person. Let's have some fun with that. Because in my personal experience, sexual energy is powerful. It's sacred. If you don't know how to use it the right way, and you got to start thinking about that. Like how many, mainstream media and people in power, they know the power of sexual energy, and that's why they promote things as like, this car is sexy, the iPhone is slick and sexy. Drink this beer and you're gonna get the sexy woman. Why? Because sexual energy is powerful. But let's not talk about that right now, because that's not today's topic. If you want to listen to this, I'll probably talk about it next week. Really, I've never tried that. Tinder? Never tried Tinder? Okay, anyways. I love spending time with you guys here on Ask Miko Anything and Rise and Shine. I just love coming on live with you guys. Juicier connection. Next week going to be fun. Yeah, I just love coming on live so much. I don't want the weekend to come, because that's when I disconnect from Facebook. That's when I connect with me. But I'm gonna really enjoy that time, because this week has been, I've been interviewing experts, 3 interviews a day. That's how much I've been doing every single day. I'm just getting on phone calls, and I've been practicing enrollment. I've been practicing enrolling people into their greatness and doing all kinds of fun stuff. I'm doing all of this for you guys. Okay, I want to see you tap into your greatness. I want to see you let your brilliance and your light to shine brightly. And you just need that. You just need the right tools. You have the right tools in my 26 Days to Greatness series. All right, Daryl, Novo, and I don't know who's the third person that's watching right now. Thanks for being on here. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you guys so much, and for everyone who's watching later. Let me know what other topics you would like for me to touch on next week. Remember to ask me questions in the thread. I would love to answer any questions you guys may have for me. And I am gonna go back inside because it's getting super warm. And I gotta stay hydrated. I really don't want to work out today, but we'll see. All right, guys. I am sending so much love from my heart to you. I will see you next week, next Monday for Rise and Shine with Miko. And go sign up for my series now. All right, bye.